kind of strange that that they've got a door going into the closet from the back. I have no idea why that's there. I would probably delete that as well, since there's really just no need for it. Here, another one of the old windows that really needs to go. Unfortunately, the house needs windows all throughout. Outside door, again, really needs to be deleted. There's just nothing, there's no need to ever go outside from the bathroom. I just don't get it. The neighbor next door told me that that this house belonged to the president of the big old paper mill out here back in the day. Again, we have another door. This one leads outside, and again, I don't really think that door needs to be there. I mean, it could stay, but I just don't see a need to go out to the back from everywhere in the house. Here's something interesting. In the wall, they went ahead and built up these like little storage spots. So that's interesting. It's only in a few spots here and there. The chimney ends right on that side, so they I guess they just built it up to it. Throughout the house you'll find these. They're little intercoms. John and I played with them. The intercom kind of works. I think that the main unit needs to be serviced, but it's all the old school vacuum tubes. It's pretty cool. It's very vintage. It's something, honestly, I would keep throughout the house just because it's kind of interesting. And I would get that the intercom rebuilt. So here's another one of these large windows. You have the patio door, which again, all dated. And then that one here. So the back has just a huge wall of windows. Okay, so here's the kitchen. The kitchen is, again, unbelievably dated. Now we're having some debate about this ceiling here. The ceiling is, again, like a wood paneling. And but what we're trying to figure out is that if the beams are running all throughout the house, all the way to the end, which they do through here too, what is up there? Can you just rip that out and have those exposed beams? Because that would make this room look a lot bigger, even though it already is pretty big. Something I didn't notice before, the entrance into the kitchen and that has pocket doors. I didn't notice that in before. And another door leading out to the back. Flooring over here, they had something over here that was really tearing up this linoleum and that, but the floor feels mostly solid. There's a small spot there. I don't think anything would even have to be done about it. Doesn't feel like there's anything really wrong. Something was sitting right next to it. Outside you can see there's an outhouse. I was kind of scared to look into it, but it turns out it's nothing but a storage shed that they painted a little outhouse sign on. That was actually kind of funny. There's a little set-in spot here for the refrigerator. I would probably pull that out and turn it into a pantry, but I don't really know. Again, this entire kitchen needs to be gutted and redone. It's got the island with electric heating on it, which I don't know if I'd be able to get gas in here, but it would be preferable, I think. Don't know what exactly that's for. Newtown. I'll have to look into see what that is. I don't even know what that is. These are some really interesting cabinets. Again, more interesting lights. I actually kind of like that one. Wish it had a couple more. Here is the brick oven. So, I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly how this works, because you got, I guess you put coals in there, but I'm really kind of confused. I thought you put a fire down here and then cooked up here, but that's not the way this one looks at all. It doesn't look like there was ever a fire down here, so I'm guessing this is some kind of coals in here and then you just cook on top of it, which seems kind of different for a brick oven. I don't know. I have to have somebody enlighten me on that. And then a built-in stove here. I don't know what exactly could be done about getting a new one of these in here. This one's obviously junk, and it's, you know, very old looking. Here's that intercom system that's throughout the house. You got 6 different or 5 different stations, radio. It's got an input. It's kind of interesting though. We played with it. It does turn on, the tubes warm up and it makes noise. We were able to get the radio to work a little bit, but it's got a real loud hum, so there's something wrong with it, but it still works. I would imagine it could be repaired fairly easily. I would probably keep it because I think it's just cool. Okay, so to reorient where we're at, here's the entrance, the main room, and then that's the kitchen. So when you come around here, this is the laundry room. Now, if you notice, the laundry room is a pretty big room. I don't think there's any need for a laundry room to be this big, especially with stackable washers and dryers. I mean, there's cabinets everywhere that are all. It's one of the weird things about this house is that all the wood is in very good shape. So, I mean, you could put the washer and dryer along this wall, and you know, you put a little folding table over here, and that's all the space you would need. So it's got a lot of space used here for nothing. Now, here's the other bathroom. It's in here. I don't think there's a light in here. Oh, yeah, there is. So here's the other bathroom. That's right up against that brick. That brick extends all the way out to here. And the shower is quite nasty and is going to need some love. You've got the exhaust up there. And it's really small, but the question is, why is the shower small? And that's what's confusing. Why is this bathroom so small? With this big old space over here, why didn't they make it bigger? Not to mention, here is the heat. So with this unit here, I don't understand why they couldn't have built further in or done something different in here. But I'd say this is the one room in the house that if I was going to do, I would remodel the whole setup, because I think you could make this bathroom much bigger and still have your laundry room and everything with a different configuration. So this is the one room that I would start looking at tearing out walls and that. But as I found out before, most of this paneling doesn't actually go to solid walls, so a lot of the paneling inside, I think you just rip it out, open up the space, and then rebuild it. It would be kind of a pain to relocate, like the toilet and that, so might have to figure that one out, but I think it could be doable. I'm not really sure. To me, that looks like it's a humidifier. It's got a line running to it. What is that? I might have to look into that. I don't know what that is. Oh wow, it's got an electronic air cleaner like we had in that house in Hillsboro. That's kind of nice. The furnace looks like it's fairly new. And the work on the furnace, I mean, again, all looks pretty new. Here's the garage. It's a nice size 2-car garage. It's built in a little bit, so you got room for your cars in here and a shop. Kind of like the desks in that. They're very solid. It's got a water filtration system in here, which actually looks to be, again, fairly new. Not new, but you know, looks like it's in good shape. Some of the piping down here looks like it could use a little love. Might have to take a look at that to see what kind of condition it's in, but for the most part it looks alright. This does have the old school single piece doors, so I think those could stand to be updated if I wanted to do that. Might have to look into what's possible for that. But even if not, it's those things still work just fine. The electrical has been updated. This looks like it was very recently done. According to the seller, they just did this last year. So the main box is completely upgraded, which is very good, but it doesn't appear that the wiring throughout the house was done. Yeah, this says it was inspected in 2010, so late last year. So I'm not sure what the deal is with the wiring, since all the wiring is done with 2-prong outlets. I have to look and see what's going on with that part of it. Here's the water heater. The water heater again looks new, or at least fairly new. I haven't heard anything from the sellers whether that was actually just done or not. I do like these old school trunks that are sitting in here. Again, we have another door that goes out back. You notice there's a lot of them. And then we start, this one kind of surprised me. This is the finished room over the garage. I didn't really know what to expect when I first came up here. When you look at it, it's pretty unassuming. I mean, it's done in wood and that, but it's not like stained or finished or urethaned or anything like that. It's just bare wood. You come up here, you got a register, which that's a big open plenum, goes all the way to the kitchen. You have here, this is like a little access to the crawl. You can't really see in there. This is like access to above the original house, and you can see some mouse poop in there, unfortunately. But I'd be kind of surprised if there wasn't some mice stuff throughout here. But you don't see it much throughout the house. You just see it in a few spots, like in the crawl and that. I keep saying crawl. That's more like an attic space. Anyway, you come up here, and this is all hardwood floors again. It does look like it might be a little newer, but it's hard to tell. The paneling looks about the same.